Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the A2B podcast, your number one source for military entrepreneurship. My name is Albert Ramos. We are here. We've been having a good conversation for about the past hour with Anthony Glenn. You guys can go and see the interview right here, guys. Don't miss it out because that talks about how he started in point A in his early years in Atlanta, Georgia, to joining the Marine Corps, to owning 4 businesses in the Marine Corps. And now we're going to be touching on the businesses that he started after he got out of the Marine Corps. So, Anthony, brother, welcome back. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm ready to go.
Let's go. So we were just talking about, in the previous podcast about how was it that you became, and essentially like a lot of hate that got thrown at you. You even got a cease and desist letter from the SJA.
Yes.
And there was a lot of hate that was thrown at you at that time. Obviously, you retired in what year?
2016.
You retired in 2016 after 20 years of service.
Yes.
You mentioned in the previous podcast that transition was easy for you because you already had established businesses outside of the Marine Corps.
Yep.
So whenever you started, you transitioned, what was your goal once you transitioned?
Well, my goal was to hit the ground running, and I wanted to become the best known real estate professional for VA because I knew if I could be the best local, but in order to become the best known, people needed to know more about who it is that we were and what we were doing. So we established, so anybody who knows combat, you want to establish high ground. So what we did is we got we established the office. Actually, a couple of weeks ago was my 6-year anniversary for our grand opening at the location in Oceanside. This was our fifth office that we opened. We opened up our office in Oceanside, 805 College Boulevard, Suite 103. And the reason why we got the location is because it's right next to the Navy Federal Credit Union.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I went all in. So, and I'll tell you something funny about that. Like, I'm not afraid to tell you that sometimes God will give you a final destination, but he won't tell you how to get there. So I got the idea of establishing myself to be the best known real estate professional from just doing Facebook Live. Right. Wow. So I'm like, hey, this is Anthony Glenn. And I got my phone in my hand. This is Anthony Glenn checking in with Remax Liberty. And I was doing the lives and I got a lot of momentum from that. Yeah. And I was getting a lot of business from that on socials. This was before TokTik. Okay. This was before the podcast and everything else. And then we became a household name in Oceanside. And I was afraid to get that office. It took me 1 year to negotiate getting that location. And it was bare bones. It was a blank canvas. So what you see there with all of the glass, that's me writing it out, giving it to an engineer and actually building that space out.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
And I'll show you the before and after so you could see it. You'd be like, okay. I was afraid that the office was going to be too big because I think when we did our grand opening, we had like 8 agents. And we were still kicking butt, man. 9 agents. We had 9 agents, 8 to 10 agents, somewhere around there when we did the opening. And I was afraid of that location because it was 3,500 square feet. It was so big.
Yeah.
Now we don't have enough room.
Yeah, I know.
Right? So that location gets 23,000 impressions a day.
Wow.
Because of the location. And I don't think anybody that's doing real estate has staked their claim in a strategic location.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
everyone's so scared right now of getting an actual brick and mortar shop. But essentially, that's how you grow. That's how you grow because that keeps you accountable.
Yes, it does. That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that keeps you accountable, and a lot of people are afraid of the responsibility and accountability of having a brick and mortar shop like that.
Yep.
So you got that shop, and your goal, your focus was. But let me ask you this, man. Like, you got out of the Marine Corps after 20 years. You went to Afghanistan.
Yep.
You went to Iraq.
Yep.
Why the extra stress? Why? Like, bro, like you got 20 years in the Marine Corps. You were a Marine Corps athlete. Like you were a two-time drill instructor. Most people tend to get out of the military and they just want to chill. They want to get like a nice job, even maybe the companies that you had, right? But you keep on growing. Why?
Because I believe a man's purpose is to continue to build, man. This is not about me, man. Like everybody talks about like, you know, this is invigorating to me, man. The stress, I love it. And the reason why I love it is because most people will tell you, I would challenge you guys to ask yourself this question. Who do you love the most in your life? You know, mine is my children, Carson and Anthony, right? That's the highlight of my life. Carson and Anthony, my family, the mother of my kids who gave me two beautiful children. These are people that I love and I'll do anything for. So there's nothing that will be above providing the greatest lifestyle that I could have for them. Secondary to that is veterans. I know that my testimony, my blessing that I have given, that has been bestowed onto me, is to help veterans see that their sacrifice doesn't go in vain through entrepreneurship and home ownership. Yeah. So that is the why. And Grant said, we're going to help you reach 21 million veterans. And I'm aligning myself with people that are going to be complementary to that mission. My mission has not changed since day one. When I wrote the mission and vision, is to be the go-to real estate company for veterans seeking to invest in real estate. That vision has not changed. And then now I'm getting the Justice League. I got Batman sitting right here that just came on board, right? You know, coming out here, hitting a long ball. He came in the office and he staked his claim in the ground, and he just taught. He hasn't even been here for 3 months yet, and he taught follow-up boss. He came in and said, I want to be of value. And this is the part that a lot of people don't understand. The most important thing about when you're growing your organization is that the people who are with you, they got to be able to see their vision fit within yours. Yeah. And a lot of people, their vision is too small. Like right now, the reason why people leave is because it's money usually. But when your vision is to impact people, then you can grow because there's no ceiling on that, man.
Yeah.
It's infinite and it's evergreen. It continues to be cyclical. And what you did yesterday just proved that, you know, I partnered with the right person, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. So you said something that at the beginning, when you started going with those Facebook Lives, you know, you go in Facebook Live, do you regret doing that? And let me tell you why.
Yes.
I think you know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Because yes, that gave you a lot of exposure.
Yeah.
But that multiplied your haters.
Yes, it did.
And it also created a bunch of copycats because they saw, man, if Anthony can do it,
so can I.
I can do it as well. So if you were to look back, would you done it any differently?
Nope. I'll tell you why. The only way that I'm going to be able to grow as big as I can is I don't need to, it's not about who knows me. It's not about who I know, it's who knows me. So what I'm doing is I'm creating testimonies so they become mini me's, right? I can be the best agent on the planet in California. I have a ceiling on California. I want to be the best. We want to be the best real estate organization for the nation. So if they don't get it from me, they get it from you. And the only way that I could do that is that I have to put the information out there. And guess what? I know you guys are, you know, the Kirkland brand of what we're doing.
Kirkland.
Oh, look, we the OGs, man. We not worried about you guys. You know, by the time you guys figure out what we're doing, we already created another organization, right? So, you know, when people come in, you know, I got the nonprofit's called Veteran Homeowners Club. I got another organization out there called the Veterans Homebuyers Homeowners Accelerator First Time Responders Homeowners Club. And it's like, dude, I look at that website, I look at my website, I'm like, yo. But I understand that when you're doing something great, you're going to have people who are following, but they're reacting to what I'm doing versus responding.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest deal, you know, like you and I share the same vision, you know. I'm younger than you, so I still got to learn a lot, and essentially, that's one of the things that I appreciate us having you as a mentor, is that, you sometimes bring me down a notch. And that's good, because you give me the freedom in order for me to be able to move, to execute what I want to do. But I feel that you bring me down when I needed to be brought back down. And what I mean by that is, we share the same vision of giving this information out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer that we need to bring this information out there, and then yes, people are gonna react to it.
Yep.
But quite honestly, like, people that see this, what we're doing, and they think they can replicate it, you're going to be able to replicate it. And maybe you're going to be able to do very good. What you're not going to be able to do is multiply or recreate my creativity.
Yeah.
I feel that I'm a very creative person.
You are.
You've seen and heard some of the ideas that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not thinking. And this is one of the pieces of advice that I'll give to the entrepreneurs out there, because it was something that was given to me very early on in my entrepreneurship life. Don't try to solve today's problem. Somebody's working on today's problem already. Solve a problem that you feel is gonna happen 5-10 years down the road. And because that's what's going to really make you a pioneer on things. So if we're doing this right today, it's because we're already planning 5-10 years down the road.
Yes, big time.
Okay. So, and you guys are not going to be able to recreate that. You guys are not going to be able. And as a matter of fact, I actually encourage you to do that. Because what that means is you're going to identify 5 years, like a problem, and then we're going to be working in different types of problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage you to be looking, to identify a problem that you feel is going to happen, and then do it. Don't try to recreate something, because you will always be behind the power curve. And that doesn't just go to the haters. That just goes to all the entrepreneurs out there that are out there trying to do some things, like trying to have a breakthrough in what is it that they actually want to do. So that's my piece of advice. Now, we talked about the Veteran Homeowners Club. We talked about the Glen Group. We talked about Remax, which now, it changed because you changed brokerages.
Yes.
So you were with Remax, and then now you are with another brokerage.
Yes, I own Remax Liberty as a franchise, and then now we have a EXP brokerage called the Liberty Group.
Okay, so Remax essentially turned into the Liberty Group.
Right, and that's a fictitious business name, by the way, anyway. So the fundamental company is the corporate structure. All we did was change. So Remax is a franchise. Liberty is the franchise that I own. So instead of it being Remax Liberty, it's like EXP Liberty. It's the exact same thing, because the corporate structure is the company that you own. The fictitious business name means that the corporate structure is doing business as the fictitious business name.
Oh, okay.
So the brokerage didn't do anything. It just changed names.
You changed brokerages.
It's changed. Yeah.
Change the license number, I guess.
Yeah, well, not even change the license number, just change the name.
Oh.
The brokerage is still the same.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay,
The brokerage is the Glen Group. It's a conglomerate. It's still the Glen Group. It just is doing business as the Liberty Group now.
Oh.
That's the only difference.
Okay, got you. Okay, so you're doing EXP, and when you changed to EXP, there was. We're gonna talk about it now. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. So okay, so you changed to EXP, or when did Grant Cardone and his team reach out to you and was like, "Hey, we wanna work with you"?
Phenomenal. So I was on a social media app, and I was talking. I was burning it down on all of the social media platforms, talking about the VA loan and all of the things that you can do with it and how to become investors. And Grant Cardone reached out to me June of 2020. I'm gonna look it up because I'm June. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, I love what you're doing. I want to help vets." At first, I was so enamored by it, I thought it was fake at first. I'm like,
Yeah.
Grant hit me up, like, I think 2022. June of 2022, he hits me up. July, he says, send an email. And then I had an opportunity to pitch an idea. It was a Shark Tank, right? And everybody had all of these businesses that they wanted to pitch. Grant had already reached out to me and said he wanted to know more information about it. And then, so I pitched an idea to him, and everybody that was pitching to him asked him for money. And I listened to the pitch because if you're a smart Marine, the leader speaks last. Okay. So what I did is I listened to everybody's pitch and I saw why they were getting shot down. I said, everybody's asking for 5 million, 6 million, and they don't even know their numbers. So what I did is I said, we had like 2 minutes to do our pitch. I said, my name is Anthony Glenn. We did $1 billion of real estate sales. I don't need any money, Grant. I said, I want to exchange bringing more veterans into your community because I believe in it, and get more information about investing in multi-units for exchange for the information on how to invest in underwrite properties. He said, you don't want any money? I said, no, not asking for any money. I'm asking to help. And there's like, so explain what you want. I said, I don't want anything. I just want information. I will do whatever it takes to get the information. I don't need money. I'm very comfortable with the money that we made. We've done $1 billion in sales without cold calling, door knocking, and doing all of that stuff by sphere of influence. And I want to bring more veterans into your community with the 10X brand for exchange for information on how to invest into bigger deals. He comped me all of the tickets. He comped all of the tickets for all of the events for a year. And then I went to every single event. Now, mind you, it was just me and the kids here. So I had to make arrangements. I had people in our organization watch my children while I went out there.
Wow.
So Ian Jensen watched my kids. Annette Robinson watched my kids. And then Connie helped me with the kids. And then I went out there and I went to every single event. And I got a little discouraged at first because, the first event that I went to was in San Diego, and there was people in there with $150 million businesses.
Oh, wow.
Right? And it was very intimidating at first. But then, so after that, they want you to buy into a product. Hey, pay pay $150,000 to get into this product, and they're selling their stuff. So I was like, oh gosh, I was very stressed out. But then, now watch how good this is. So in 2019, I said, Anthony Glenn, on Facebook, I said, Anthony Glenn, will retire from real estate February 20th, 2023. That means retire out of production. 2022, Grant reached out to me. February 21st, 2023 is the day that I got our partnership deal with Grant.
Wow.
The day after my manifestation on Facebook, and I'll show you guys that. I'll share it with him so you guys could see it. The day after I said that I was going to retire, which was my 45th birthday, was the day I got my proposal from Grant.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a great ride. So yeah.
this business has the opportunity to be what? Like because essentially what is, so that is another company, essentially, another business route that you're creating.
Yep.
So what is the purpose? Like, what is your purpose with that company?
The purpose of 10X Vets is to personal professional development for military spouses, because nobody's helping military spouses get into the job field. Nobody. They're overlooked. The vet,
They sure are.
2% of the military is female. The rest are males. So military spouses are predominantly female. Nobody's helping them. They sacrifice their careers where they go from,
They sure do.
they're following the veteran around, and the only time they get recognized or praised is when the veteran is killed in combat.
Or he retires, where they get a little piece of paper with some flowers.
Yes.
That's pretty much
so it's
it.
very difficult. Imagine trying to get into a career and you're transitioning every 3 years to follow your husband around. And then when he leaves, you have to take on the responsibility of being leader, protector, provider, and nurturer. And then when you get back, you got to reintegrate to that veteran. It's not the same from coming back from combat.
Right.
So we're doing personal professional development for military spouses. That's that's part of it, where we're helping them get into entrepreneurship through Elena's program. The second thing that we're doing is the veteran wealth formula on, utilizing what we've already built with Wire and everything else to develop businesses. So we coach you from, okay, you bought your property, then what's next? Okay, so that's the second portion. I'm making real estate investors with through the VA Loan Masterclass, buying and building a business, right? That's the fourth pillar of it. How to either buy a business or build a business from scratch. That means that what corporate structure to pick. What's the difference between an S corp, LLC, all of that stuff. How to hire people, how to set up your socials, how to scale your business. Going through the five pillars: storming, norming, performing, and scaling, and norming. And then basically walking you through how to set up your business. And then the last and final thing is how to underwrite properties and invest in real estate as a pillar, one of the five pillars of generational wealth.
That is what you and Grant are doing together.
That is correct.
Okay, so
we are doing together.
Yeah, so we're doing that together. So I just wanted to ensure that people know that, because that is Marine Corps 14 years. Never heard of another veteran trying to do that type of stuff. At least not to the level that you guys are doing it. Maybe there are other people that are out there right now. But again, man, like, that's the reason why I ask you why. Because a lot of people, all they want to do is they just want to simply be comfortable, have enough to live very comfortably, but not grow, because the amount of exposure that comes with that and the amount of responsibilities that come with that, not everyone is willing to undergo that.
Yep.
And essentially, I asked you for your purpose. Now, what is your vision with that? And essentially, you said, I'm a firm believer. We share this ideology that it's not about the money, right? Like, the money will come if you care about the people.
Yep.
But what is your vision?
My vision is to help 100,000 veterans become millionaires. That's what I want to do.
Wow.
We want to help 100,000 veterans become millionaires. That by utilizing the steps and strategies that we've done in all of the failures. And we want to bring financial literacy to 21,000 veterans and 21 million veterans and military spouses. So think about it. 100,000 veterans becoming millionaires through our program. Okay. The only way we're going to do that is that people got to know what we're doing. And then the second thing is that we have to have proof of concept, and that's what we have. We have you as a investor. We also have you as a salesperson, and now you're an entrepreneur. You have your business structured.
Yeah.
So and then also we want to 10x their kids as well by and I'm the 18th business. Listen, I'm the small guy, man. We don't have the most followers on Instagram, and I'm gonna tell you, man, if you believe in your message, somebody will hear it, and you only need one person to hear it. And it doesn't matter how many people hear it, it's the right person.
Yeah.
The right people over the most people, man. Because I had a small little space, small little corner. We only have 4 people. We only had like 1,000 people come into our lives when we were doing this, and the right people believed in us. And we aligned, man. I'm gonna tell you guys, look at me, guys. I don't care what you see. You know what Grant when I sat down and I talked to him about? He said, the reason why I picked you? He said, I give people opportunities all the time, and you know what they don't do? They don't show up. They don't show up. He said, you showed up for every single event and you didn't ask questions. He said, I will pick that value over a person who has excuses. I picked you because of your work ethic. And he said, I picked you because I believe in you, and they really want to help vets. What's crazy about this is that I was so intimidated by, I was trying to I felt guilty for getting this opportunity. I felt like I did not deserve it, man. I felt like, man, like it was so humbling. I could not believe it. When I closed my eyes, I couldn't believe that someone believed in us. And I want to share this with you. There's a guy named Jonathan Bing and Nelson Apega. These 2 people, you need to follow them on Instagram. They're doing big things. They're the ones that gave me the platform to get interviewed and put me in front of that. And Mark Days. Mark Days is another person. He had an opportunity. He knows Grant, so he put me right next to him. And I didn't say a word. What's crazy about it, he didn't even know who I was. I said right next to Grant and at an event. And he was like right here. And I said, his wife was right here. Grant was right there, and he was speaking to 300 people. And then I was in a VIP seat, and I was a guest. He said, look, I don't care. He needs to, and I didn't say anything. I didn't say, oh, Grant, you know, I wasn't all in his face. I sat there with my suit on, and I stayed in position. And I waited my turn, man. And then when the time came up for me to hit a long ball, I took the bat and I hit it out of the park.
Nice. So, okay, so what would you say is the number one thing that has allowed you to continue to because obviously there's been a lot of failures in those things.
Yes.
You got that letter. You know, I'm pretty sure as an entrepreneur, you're putting out fires on a daily basis, specifically at the beginning, right? At the beginning of your entrepreneurship career. What has been one of the main things that has allowed you to stay consistent in order for you to see the results that you've seen in your financial, in your financial aspect and in your life?
Love has kept me consistent. And when I say that, I love the people that I'm impacting, man. Love and the people are the two things that I would say keeps me going, because I know, like, a lot of people, you know, they focus on where they're at versus their impact. It doesn't matter what you're doing, is who you're doing it for. When you have who you're doing it for and you understand that process, you can go through a hardship. And this is the example. If I'm hungry and I got to go to the grocery store to feed my family, and I'm driving to the grocery store, a roadblock is not going to make me go back home. Now, it might take me a little longer to get there, but I know the end result. I don't care about the storm, bro. I can go through any type of failure. It's not a failure, it's a challenge. I either have a choice. I can take a loss or be defeated. The fundamental difference between taking a loss and being defeated is quitting.
Yeah.
So I might take a loss, but I make adjustments. Any champion that you know on the planet knows how to take losses. Who name some great sports people. What's your favorite sports person on the planet?
Favorite sports person on the planet?
I was gonna say some soccer shit. Watch.
No. Well, I was thinking first idea that came was that one, but no, I'll probably say one of my favorite boxers. I'll probably say one of my favorite boxers is Miguel Cotto.
Cotto.
When he lost to Mayweather, that was a big one for me, because that was a big fight for me.
Okay, so let me ask. So has Cotto taken losses?
Yeah, against Mayweather.
Is he still a champion?
100%.
You know the reason why he's still a champion? Because he didn't. Floyd Mayweather, I'm glad that you said that. Okay, we got Puerto Rico against America right here. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather, believe it or not, he loses his first couple of rounds, but he understands that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah,
I can lose a couple of rounds, but the goal is to win the championship. So I understand in business that you're going to get punched in the face, but it's how you respond to it. I'm going to respond to it with, okay, what's happening this is happening for me. Let me give you a couple of examples. Can I do that? Is that okay? Of course. The first example was I partnered with a Remax agent out here in a partnership when I was on active duty first. I did my MBA capstone on which brand had the most global recognition. It was Remax in the beginning. So I partnered with a guy in Temecula. The guy hired, I came in with a team, we started producing, and then imagine me bringing you in, you're a brand new realtor, and since you retire before me, it's your first year, the broker makes you a team leader over me and takes him off my team, so I don't get none of his commission. And I'm the one who bought him there. And then he stopped paying me commission. Damn. And he was stealing my marketing money. That forced me to go to another Remax, because I knew Remax was the brand that I wanted to do. So that all of my team went from that brokerage to another brokerage. Then that broker was sniffing our money. He was on drugs.
Oh shit!
So he owed me. I had to sue him for $42,000. But you know what made me stay consistent? That was the universe telling me, stop partnering with people and do your own thing, and then you pick your partners. Yeah. And then you know what he said? Hey, I think you should do your business in Oceanside. He was doing that to get me out of Temecula. But what he didn't realize is that Oceanside was the best financial decision. Both of those companies are out of business right now. Both of those Remax franchise, they lost them.
Wow.
And guess who's still standing? Little old me. So I know that usually things that are happening for me is giving me, it's not happening for me. It's not happening to me, it's happening for me. And that for me is an example of what direction that I'm getting prepared for. You have to lose something in order to win.
Yeah.
What are you willing to lose? Sleep, stress, everything else. I understand that the rotten fruit's going to fall off the tree. When you got a bad apple, if the wind blows, I'll give you an example. If the wind is blowing the tree and the leaves fall off, is it still a tree? Yes. Okay. Sometimes those things happen in your business to make things fall off in order for new growth to come in. So every situation, every hardship that I have faced in my life, I understand this too shall pass, and it's preparing me for something bigger.
What? A lot of people don't, you have a very strong mindset. Like, you're very driven. What advice would you give to the people, that are not, maybe they have the same goals as you, but don't have the drive and determination that you have? What advice would you give to those people?
Either you want to do it or you don't want to do it. The choice is yours.
Okay.
Like, either you commit to what's on front of a puzzle box. If you go to the store, the picture,
yeah,
and there's pieces in there, you have to put the pieces in place. If you know the picture that you want to go in, put the pieces together. It might take 2 or 10 years, but commit to the final product.
Yeah.
Because going through it is going to give you the experience that you need. So when you're going through failure and hardships in your organization, stay committed to the final destination, and then the universe will naturally lead you there. And then the second thing that I would say is take care of your people. Listen to the people that are around you and make sure they're a part of the process. What's better than one star in the sky?
A shit ton of stars in the sky.
The sky is much brighter with more stars in it.
Yeah.
So as I become a star, bring other stars with me. Don't forget that the reason why I am today is not because of me, it's because I put good people around me, man. Like right now, I got 2 people in the house. I got you here. I got Annette. I got Connie. I have good people around me that care about the vision of the organization. It's the most important thing that I could tell you with growing an empire is make sure that you eliminate the rotten fruit. Do not hold on to someone because of what they do for your organization if they are not bought into the vision of the company. If it's about them, let them go. If it's about the organization, then those are the people that you want to elevate with and make sure they're a part of the growth. So as they grow, you grow.
Guys, that's some God knowledge right there. Okay, so you growing these companies. Is there anything that you have in the near future that you would like to share with us? Is there anything going on in the near future that we can know, right? That's already planned out that you have going on?
Yes. So we're getting we're going to Miami, okay, with my man right here. And we're going to teach them. We're going to be doing national VA loan masterclass and veteran wealth formulas nationally. So we're coming to a military installation near you to where we'll be teaching about the VA loan masterclass, which is trademarked. So if you're going to call it VA loan masterclass, make sure you call it veteran loan masterclass, because I trademarked that, so you can't Kirkland brand it, right? So we'll be going around teaching these events, and then also myself, Bruno, Ian, everybody in the organization that wants to be a part of this. We're looking for a few good real estate professionals that are looking to get in the game that are thoroughly immersed in we over me. Okay. Yeah. So that's something that I'll tell you that we will be going nationally to bring these on a national level. In complementary to that, another thing that we're going to be doing is that we're going to be releasing a military spouse grant. That's coming up soon. So those are a couple of things that we have rolling out for military spouses. So if you're looking for more information, hit up my man, Albert. He's going to be talking to you guys about what we have that's unrolling. And then those are a couple of things that we're going to go. But I do want to say one more thing, if I can.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to ask you, what comes first, the seed or the dirt? When you're planting a tree?
The dirt, I think. If you ask me, I would think it would be the dirt.
Right. Then you got to take the seed and put it into what?
In the dirt, yes.
And then what comes from the dirt?
The tree.
The root of the tree.
The root of the tree, yes.
The root of the tree. Then from the tree you get leaves, right? Before you get leaves on a tree, then you get flowers. Those flowers turn into what? That you can eat. Fruit, right? So, and then if you look at a fruit tree, you have a lot of what on the tree? Fruit, right? But what comes from the fruit is what you plant in the ground.
Yes.
So the root comes before the fruit. Stop worrying about the money. The money is going to the tree, plucking the fruit, eating it. Going to the tree, plucking the fruit. Would you rather have, I'm not interested in eating the fruit. I'm interested in planting seeds for multiple trees. And I'll share this with you guys. One thing in building any organization is that when you guys are building this thing out, the reason why you guys are not making money in your organization is because you're not helping people. You want more money, you got to help more people. You want more, and God is not going to give seeds to a person that doesn't know how to farm.
Yeah, and I wanna cut right there in that statement, and I wanna interject this. That statement that is right there, there's no buts. There's no buts. But my family, but this, but the other. Like he said earlier, either you want it or you don't.
Yep, 100%.
You know, there's no and ifs or buts. The reason for it, because this happens a lot too in the military. And this happens too, as a matter of fact, not only in the military, I'm just saying the military because obviously that's what I'm familiarized with. But this happens every single day in, I would say, 99.9% of the households around the world. Mm-hmm. You have an idea, you have a goal, you want something that you want to do, but there is something that stops you. And that is something, it's an excuse.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. And let me tell you something. Whenever people talk to me, I understand. I'm not naive. I understand that life happens. Mm-hmm. But when life happens, you usually pick the things that are a priority for you.
Yes.
Everything else that is not a priority for you becomes an excuse. So whenever you
wait, rewind that back. I want to pick that up. So I can say it on my podcast. Yeah. Like I originated. I'm a Kirkland brand. Say it one more time. That's good, actually.
Yes. So everything else that is not a priority for you becomes an excuse.
Damn, that's heavy.
Think about it.
That's good. That's true, though.
Think about it. Because when you want to do something and all of a sudden, no, but I had to do, let's say for example, oh no, I wanted to come on the podcast because let's say this, right? Let's say because we had other guests intended for this, actually for a bunch of other weeks.
Yep.
And it wasn't a priority for them. But you know who the podcast was a priority for? Me. I could have been like, you know what? Well, then we're not going to roll episodes.
We're just not going to do it, yeah.
I'm just not going to do it. But for me, it's a priority. Maybe for my guest, it wasn't a priority. But it was a priority for me. So you know what I did?
You made adjustments.
I made adjustments. I kept calling people. I kept sending out messages. I kept doing everything because my priority was the podcast. And I'm just using an example. Mm-hmm. The biggest example that I can use for our audience is college while you're in the military. Oh, no, I don't have time. Yeah, you have time. It's just not a priority for you. Oh, I want to start a business. You have time. Oh, well, I don't know how to open up an LLC. Guys, we're not in the 1980s where the internet was not created, okay, guys? Mm-hmm. We are in 2023 where you can literally go to LegalZoom.com, and this is not a paid advertisement about LegalZoom, by the way. You can literally go to LegalZoom.com and create a business within 15 minutes.
Yep.
That's how easy it is. If you want to overcomplicate it, then yeah, go to a CPA or do everything yourself or whatever. But literally, if you just want to simplify things, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay extra for it. But it's because it was a priority for you. So guys, stop making excuses and start realizing it. Because you know when I realized that while I was making excuses and I was not making a priority when I was on recruiting duty. When I was on recruiting duty, I could have come up with like 1,000 different excuses of why I wasn't producing. Because yesterday I told you guys, like I wrote zeros at my beginning of my career as a professional sales person, 0. But it was because I was two things. I didn't believe in the product, that I was selling. That was the first thing, because I didn't know that I needed to believe in the product. That's the first thing, right? And then second, because I was coming up with all these excuses. When I eliminated the excuses and when I started believing in the product, things started changing for me. And in your entrepreneurship journey, translating this as somebody that wants to be an entrepreneur, instead of believing in with your product, you got to believe in yourself.
Yep.
Because everyone that's around you, and this goes to something that happens a lot in the military. You think that just because someone is your peer, as a corporal, like let's say we're E4s, that person's your peer. Nah, man, like you guys have so many different values and things that you guys want to do with your life. Maybe you're right next to that person, but that person might not be your peer for the things that you're trying to do outside of the military. But the one thing that you guys are doing is you guys are sharing your life goals with them. And then since they don't align, they might be like, well, that might not be good. Or, yeah, I had a buddy that did this. Put you an example. I had a master sergeant that when I was a sergeant and I was about to go on recruiting duty, and he told me, "Oh, you shouldn't go on recruiting duty. Recruiting duty, you're probably gonna get. It's probably gonna be the worst.
It's gonna be
decision.
so hard.
It's probably gonna be the worst decision that you ever made in your life."
Yep.
Come to find out, that master sergeant got kicked out. He didn't even finish the recruiting duty tour. He was telling me based on his experience. So people want to see you do good, but they don't want to see you doing better than them.
And I want to say something to that, man, because, you know, one thing that and shout out to Mrs. Ramos, okay, coming over here. This woman came to my house, cleaned my entire house. Why? She's like, I love being over here. She's such a sweet lady. And I understand who you're doing it for, man. Yep. You're doing it for your beautiful boys and your wife. And I want to help. I gotta be around people like that because it's directly in alignment with what I'm doing. Shout out to Gabe with Bruno, and I think that the future is the kids, man. Think about it, man. If we are able to, not if but when we're able to impact these people in business, I just want to be a part of. I don't want to be remembered for how much money that I have and how many companies I started. I want to be remembered for how many people and lives that I've changed and impact that I've made, because that's infinite. I don't care about the money, man. The money
That's what leaves the legacy.
Yes, the money is a result of you helping people. And guess what? I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, and Albert's story yesterday, I almost cried, man, because it's like, damn, I was thinking about it. I'm like, he had a Marine die, and the first thing that the Marine Corps said is, well, who's next? Who are you going to go get? And that just goes to show you that I want to be around people who believe in themselves, because you don't know your capacity until you test yourself. That's the only way you're going to know what your capabilities are if you're doing something. This is what most people do. They get up, they get dressed, they go to work, they get paid for going to work, they come home, the kids are asleep, they get the kids, they rest on the weekend. Saturday, they got to go shopping. Sunday, they got to prepare for the next day. And they're in this vicious cycle of doing the exact same thing without any change. And then they wonder why their life is not different.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, you want to be an entrepreneur? I'm going to tell you right now, this shit is not easy. Entrepreneurship doesn't care about how sleepy you are.
Yep.
Entrepreneurship doesn't care that you got an argument with your lady. Entrepreneur doesn't care that you're gaining weight. Entrepreneur doesn't care about how sleepy you are. If you don't have enough time, get up earlier. If you're tired, wake up earlier and get the work done and go to bed earlier. What are you willing to lose in order to win? I'm going to ask that question. I really want you guys to think about that. And Albert was very, very committed to where he was at before. And it was very hard to walk away from something. And I know that was, but I could tell that the purpose is to put you were an eagle in the cage. That's the best way to put it. I didn't even
look at it that way.
You were an eagle in the cage. Like I'm an eagle in a zoo, right? And the eagle's not designed to be in a zoo, man. The eagle's designed to do what? Open up his wings and soar. But you can't suppress someone who has the ability to see danger and everything else up in the sky and add you down here with the chicken. Eagles and chicken don't hang out together. Eagles are in the sky, man. They're supposed to be up here. So when I saw you in your element, you were waiting for that moment. And when you got up there, you sang a platinum record. And it's a hit.
I'm not used to people talking about me in the podcast.
I'm sorry, I had to say this, man. I know you're not used to that, but I'm telling you, man, listen, man, when you see somebody who has a talent, you have to appreciate it, man, because they're going to help. We're going to grow together. And I think that, if you want to do it, if you want to go far in any type of organization, put people around you who believe in you. And if a person says, oh, I don't think you should do that, that's not your friend. Because your friend will never, ever, regardless if he see you going, if regardless, he should always believe in you and support what it is that you're doing. And then support you when you fail. Okay? That's a true friend. A person that tells you, oh, I don't know if you should do that. Don't give advice on something that you've never done, my friend.
Yeah.
Only give advice on something that you completed on your own.
Yeah.
So I'm honored to have you here. I'm honored to be a part of the A to B podcast. People are like, why is he doing a podcast? I'm like, bro, we can grow together, fool. Yeah. They don't get it. It's not clicking, man. We can grow together. And I think when people realize that they can do much more with two people versus one, then people will get a lot further in life.
Yeah, no, and I definitely appreciate, the opportunity that that you provided to me, and the opportunity to essentially me being able to reach more people, man. Like I'm that's essentially what I want, right? Like I want to be able to reach out as many people as possible because of the story that I shared earlier. I know that there's people out there that are struggling, and even if you're not struggling, you can always be doing better. I want to be that connection in between what where you are right now and how, in order for you to be able to gain generational wealth for you and your family for the rest of your life. And again, like I do this, I look at making money the way that I looked at my promotions in the Marine Corps. I had a Corporal Davison. I will never forget him. Corporal Davison I asked him, like, well, so what do you got to do to get promoted to Corporal? I asked him as a Lance Corporal. He's like, don't worry about getting promoted. Just do the best job that you can every single day. I promise you the promotion will come.
Yeah.
I look at it the same exact way. I do the best of what I can with all of my clients, which, by the way, we got two more families in escrow today.
Congratulations.
So I do the best that I can with all my families, and I don't only focus about my clients. Yesterday, I think you were in the office with me when I had to pick up the phone call. I was like, for like an hour, I was speaking not even with my clients, I was speaking with their grandparents because they were like, hey, no, my grandparents, they form an important part of my life, and I want to make sure that they know what is it that's going on.
Yeah.
And I took my time because if it's important for my clients, it's important for me as well. A lot of people don't understand that. And this is one of the reasons, if I would have been in it for the money, they would have, in that moment, that grandparent would have seen right through me.
Yeah.
Because I would have answered to him rushed, or I would have, given him some generic information, but I broke it down to that grandparent so that way he sees that I'm looking out for his grandchildren, So Anthony, I definitely appreciate you allowing us, first of all, to open up your doors in your house, in your beautiful house, to do this podcast. We got to have you back because I know Barry's going to be freaking pissed when he sees this interview. He was like, how did you interview him without me?
Yeah.
So I know he's going to be pissed. I'm sorry, Barry. It just happened. But thank you so much. We're definitely going to have you back on the podcast. If people want to reach out to you, where can they reach out to you?
So you can reach me at anthonysocial.com, ANTHONY, social, SOCIAL, social.
SOCIAL, yes.
Yeah, social.com or googleanthony.com. Don't Google Anthony, but Google the word Google, anthony.com, GOOGLEANTHONY.com. Well, we help you win, man. And again, it's an honor to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys. Hey, thank you, Anthony. Guys, as you guys know, this is the A to B podcast, your favorite military entrepreneurship channel here on YouTube. Make sure that you guys subscribe. And if you guys want, go check out some of the videos that are popping up right here and right here. And I promise that they will bring value. You guys know where to find me. You guys can follow me in all of my social media. Ramos_Capital on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And make sure that you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Welcome to the